Those of you that have been sticking around for the entirety of this Whitetail saga that's happened over the past several videos posted to YouTube, I know you're getting as frustrated as I am with not being able to actually see or collect or harvest any deer. Luckily, during the last video, we finally saw several bucks, but as you note in that last video, we saw those bucks when we had early antlerless season, so we couldn't harvest any of them, so we were unable to harvest those bucks. But I finally decided it's time to scout some new locations. I tried calling, I tried all these other things, and finally I decided, you know what, I'm going to get up, I'm going to scout some new spots and try a new location. So I went farther back in public land, over a mile or so back from where I usually hang out, just to see if there was something back there on this public land that we might have a chance. So for this next video, we're going to try hunting that area and see what we can come up with.
We had a cold front come through last night and it dropped the temperature down about 10 degrees on average or so compared to yesterday. It is a little cooler today. We had a storm come through as well. The other issue we're going to be contending with this morning is the very, very dense fog. Almost to the point that I'm kind of concerned about finding my way to my spot. We're going to head out here in a minute, start hiking out to the spot. The, again, issue with the fog being so thick, I've gone to the spot before and I know this area really well, but there's a solid chance that I don't find the exact area I need to get to. So we'll see what happens. There will be updates once we get to our spot, and then once the sun comes up, which we are here about an hour and a half before sunrise. So it should give us plenty of time to walk the 30 minutes or so back to our spot, and then we'll see how we do. Just want to give you an idea of how ridiculously foggy it actually is. So thick you can't see 10 feet in front of you. I usually don't walk with the light, and you definitely don't walk with a white light, but I can't see well enough to get through this without a white light. Even the red light's reflecting off. So we're gonna keep working our way in. We're still only about 2/3 of the way to where we're going, so we're gonna keep working our way in. We made it back to our spot, and it's still, let's take a look at the time here, about 20 minutes till first light. Now you can hear all the drip, 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 drip. That's from the rain last night and the fog being so wet. So it's going to be hard to hear a deer right now over that as well. We're going to get masked up. The sun will be up here in about 20 minutes. Or the first light will be about 20 minutes. And we'll see what happens. See that out in front of us, where those 3 spikes are sticking up. That is 20 yards. I believe where that group of trees is past that is about 65, 70 yards. And I can't see past that. There is field past that, but you can't see past it right now. Our clearest view is up to like 45 yards. at its first light. Hopefully, things start moving. Couldn't catch it on video, but I just had two spikes almost run me over. They ran right to about the 20-yard mark, and then veered, and then walked down this way. So we had those two little bucks run through, and I mean, they bolted through. They stopped briefly, but there was the bigger of the two. There was a spike, and the other one was either a spike or a 3-point. I couldn't quite make it out, but they were part of the fog that I wasn't going to take a shot, and they're too small. In my opinion, take a shot at them because they were moving. I'm wondering if the bigger bucks are going to move soon. So I'm going to try a grunt and see if that brings in the bigger bucks. It may work, and then we might also try some rattling to see if that brings in the bigger bucks too.
Minutes after calling, I had a doe come screaming across the field, and it was just ready to be snorting and ready to run across the field. So my idea that it may scare things did end up happening. It scared a doe out and ran across the field.
So she ran in, spooked, and was snorting the whole way across. She never got closer than about 50-ish yards. And she was running the whole time. I don't know if I spooked her or something else. There was another deer over there that I saw briefly its head pop out, and then it turned around.
Thus ends day one of the new spot. Pretty location, saw some deer, let's try again.
Good morning, everybody. So, we are back out at the same public lands that we saw all the bucks at a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, and where we saw the doe and the fawn, and the spike and 3-point, and then we saw a spike a couple nights ago. We're in that same public lands. We're going back to the same field that we went to, and it was super foggy, where we saw the doe and the fawn, and the spike almost ran me over, and all of that. That's kind of the game plan for this morning. We can't stay out too awful long, not because I have anything I have to do, but because by the time it hits about 10:30 this morning, we're looking at 25 to 30 mile per hour winds, which, even if the wind wasn't going to be a problem for scent purposes, it's going to be a problem for making a good shot. So we're going to hang out till the winds start picking up, and then we'll start scooting out, and then we'll play it by ear as to whether or not we'll go out again tonight, because tonight it might also get really windy. Tomorrow morning, however, it's supposed to be like 1 mile per hour wind, almost no wind whatsoever, and I might come back to the same spot, provided I don't think my scent got spread around as much. We will spray down with scent spray. But again, we've mentioned this before, it's not something to rely on, it's just a potentially helpful tool. It's way better to play the wind than to rely on that scent spray. So we're gonna scoot out there. It'll take us 30 minutes or so to get out there. We have an hour until daylight for shooting hours, and we have about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes until sunrise. So that will give us plenty of time to get out there, get set up in the dark, be as quiet as we can when we get out there, hopefully not spook anything, get set up, and hold out, see what comes through. Well, it is now officially legal shooting light. We had a buck come through like 10 minutes ago, and it wasn't quite legal shooting light 1, and 2, it was just scooting across the field. Not fast, but moving, and it was going to leave the field, so I tried something stupid. I tried an estrus blade, because it's the only call I can grab quick, and tried to stop it with that. It didn't work, it spooked it. So it went around there. The closest got was 60 yards. Based off of what I know from this area, those are all based off marks. I couldn't get a good range on it because it's too dark, and I could barely see through the scope, so it wasn't legal shooting time anyway. But that one is my bad. I spooked it with the estrus blade, and I should have just been patient and waited for it. But we'll sit here for a few more hours. There's a chance that spooked everything else out too. So we'll wait here for the next few hours, and then once the wind picks up, we'll head out. It's now past sunup, about 20 minutes past sunup. A lot of squirrels and a lot of jays, but nothing else. Like I said, we saw that one buck come through earlier, which I'm guessing was a 6 or 7 point. I couldn't get a good look at its antlers again, because it was still before shooting hours, and it was 60 yards away or so, between 50 and 60 yards away. So my hope is that things will start moving in. Alright, here's my plan. I'm gonna try a couple of buck grunts at different pitches and see, act kind of like there's a dominant and then a subordinate, and then go into a rattle and make it sound like, two bucks come across each other, territory, rattling, blah blah blah, and hope that lures something back in. We haven't seen anything in a while, and the winds can start picking up here before too long. So we're gonna try that, see if it works, and then we're gonna stay quiet until we head out. I think that's the plan we're going with. So, 2 different pitches of buck grunts, then the rattle, and see if anything comes in.
Meh.
So I bust my way through these weeds here, and I definitely missed. The unfortunate part is the arrow, its fletching is ripped off now, as you can see. And again, no blood whatsoever. So, I guess I'm not that great a shot. I feel kind of bad. He snuck in on me too. He came in and snuck around. But he doesn't 100% know I'm here. He didn't run tail up. They might circle back around. So I'm going to go back. I have 2 more arrows here with me, and then I have another one in the truck. I'm going to go back, set up, be quiet, see if something else comes in. So here's the deal. I rearranged it. I'm back sitting in my spot and ranging back to where I took the shot at. Out that way, where you can see that mound of grass. However, that mound of grass, I thought, was 30 yards. It's actually 37 yards. He was standing just behind that mound of grass. So when I took the shot, I put the 30-yard pin about mid-chest, thinking, okay, if it's a little bit more than 30 yards, he might duck and I'll hit him. What actually happened is I shot underneath him, and I can see essentially how my path went from my arrow to him, and it definitely shot underneath him. Good morning, everybody. We are back at it. It is a nice cold morning. I wouldn't say cold, but cold. It's under 40 degrees, ranges between 35 and 40 depending on where we are in the thermals. But we are going to start making our way out into the woods. We have about 45 minutes to an hour until first light, and then we'll get set up. Once it's first light, we'll take a quick chat and kind of talk about what's going on, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, we've made it back to our spot. I didn't charge this last night, the GoPro last night, so we're gonna have to take video sparingly. But I just wanted to let you know we're back here. We've got 25-30 minutes until first light. Fog's starting to roll in a little bit. Overall, it's a little chilly, but we're gonna be comfortable, layered up, we'll be good. So we're gonna hold out, try to stay as close to midday as possible and see if anything moves. see any grainy stuff in it. And then here is the arrow, which red. It may be far back, but we're gonna start tracking it for now. Let's see where we can get to. And then I'll keep you posted as we go. More blood in here. Well, you might be able to see him right now. I tracked him. He didn't make it very far. The field is right over there. He made it maybe 150 yards. You can see my tissue trail here to follow him. And I looked down into this ravine, which is 30, 40 feet straight down. And there's blood down there. And I'm like, well, I'm surprised he didn't just fall down the ravine. Well, as he tried to make his way out, there he is, right there. In the middle of the cliff. So this is gonna get interesting.
The fun always kind of stops when you finally find the deer down. Now it's time to try to figure out how to drag this thing out of here, considering it's in a cliff that's approximately 20 feet down or so, tangled in roots. So the goal is to get to it, maybe drag it down into the cliff itself, and then pull her out.
All right, we made our way down here, and this is where he lies, like this. It's basically a 7-point. That one brow tine doesn't quite meet an inch, I don't think. So he ran down here, fell, I think, here, and then started running up here, and then couldn't make it up this hill, and that was it. I'm gonna clean him, pull him out. If you're wondering, I think this is the same 7-point that came through yesterday morning that was too dark to shoot at. It was not the bigger one we tried to shoot at yesterday, I don't think. But it is a nice size little 7, almost 8. Cool.
Not my biggest buck, but definitely a worthwhile hunt. Every hunt you have to feel blessed about and feel so happy that you were able to just get out there and have a chance to take a shot at one. What a hunt. And to be able to harvest a deer that was worthy of being European mounted on the wall and that gave me plenty of food for my wife and I for the next several months. It was a great, great hunt and a great way to end this whitetail saga, to finally harvest a deer. Going from not seeing anything throughout most of the year to finally seeing bucks, then does, then bucks again, and then finally taking a shot at one and missing, and then finally downing one. It was fantastic. I'm so blessed to be able to successfully got this deer and to successfully have hunted throughout this season. I'm also very blessed to be able to have friends that are willing to finish their job, run out real quick, and help me drag a deer for a mile out of the woods. What a great way to end this whitetail saga. Until I see you again, please have a great and blessed day.